The creation of the world. Greek mythology begins with chaos, a vast, shapeless void that existed before anything else. From chaos emerged the first primordial deities, Gaia, earth, Tartarus, the abyss, and Eros, love. Gaia gave birth to Uranus, the sky, and together they created the Titans, the Cyclopes, and the Hecatonchires, GIS with 100 hands. Uranus, fearing the power of his offspring, imprisoned the Cyclopes and Hecatonchires deep within Gaia. Enraged, Gaia conspired with her son Cronus, the youngest Titan, to overthrow Uranus. Cronus used a sickle to overthrow his father, taking his place as ruler of the cosmos. But Cronus's rule wasn't peaceful. Fearing a prophecy that one of his children would overthrow him, he swallowed each one at birth. His wife Rhea saved their youngest child Zeus by tricking Cronus into swallowing a stone instead. Zeus grew up, returned, and led a rebellion against Cronus, freeing his siblings. This epic story sets the stage for Greek mythology, showing how creation emerges from chaos and power often leads to conflict. It reflects themes of rebellion, fate, and the cyclical nature of change. The 12 Labors of Heracles. Heracles, known as Hercules in Roman mythology, was the son of Zeus and a mortal woman, Alcmene. From birth, his strength and bravery set him apart, but his life was marked by Hera's wrath. Furious that Heracles was born from Zeus's infidelity, Hera tormented him throughout his life. Her most devastating act came when she drove him mad, leading him to kill his wife and children. Overcome with grief, Heracles sought redemption by serving King Eurystheus, who imposed 12 nearly impossible labors. These tasks included slaying the Nemean lion, whose hide was impervious to weapons, and capturing the golden hind, a sacred deer of Artemis. Heracles cleaned the Augean stables, housing thousands of cattle, in a single day and retrieved the golden apples guarded by the Hesperides. Each labor tested Heracles' strength, intelligence, and perseverance. He strangled the Nemean lion with his bare hands and used its claws to skin it, creating an impenetrable cloak. The 12 labors represent the struggle for redemption and the ability to overcome adversity. Heracles became a symbol of resilience, showing that even those burdened by guilt can achieve greatness.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love.
The Trojan War. The Trojan War began with a beauty contest between goddesses. Paris, a prince of Troy, was tasked with choosing the fairest among Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite. Aphrodite promised him the love of Helen, the most beautiful woman, and Paris awarded her the golden apple. Helen, however, was already married to King Menelaus of Sparta. Paris's abduction of Helen sparked outrage, leading to a Greek alliance against Troy. The war lasted 10 years, with legendary heroes like Achilles, Hector, and Odysseus shaping its events. Achilles' rage over the death of his friend Patroclus led to the dramatic killing of Hector, the Trojan prince. The Greeks ultimately won through cunning, not brute force. They built a massive wooden horse, hiding soldiers inside. The Trojans brought the horse into their city, only to face destruction when the Greeks emerged at night. The Trojan War is a story of love, pride, and the devastating consequences of human ambition and betrayal. The Odyssey. Odysseus's journey home after the Trojan War is a tale of endurance and cleverness. Known for his cunning, Odysseus faced a decade of challenges before returning to Ithaca. Along the way, he encountered mythical beings and divine obstacles. One of his greatest trials was the Cyclops Polyphemus, who trapped Odysseus and his men in a cave. Using his wits, Odysseus blinded the Cyclops and escaped by hiding under the sheep. He also faced the Sirens, whose songs lured sailors to their doom. Forewarned, he ordered his men to block their ears with wax while he tied himself to the mast to hear their song without succumbing. Odysseus's journey was not only physical but also emotional. He battled temptation, like staying with the nymph Calypso, and faced despair when he thought he had lost everything. His resilience and intelligence brought him home to his wife Penelope and son Telemachus. The Odyssey is a timeless story of survival and transformation, showing that life's trials can lead to growth and wisdom. The Iliad. The Iliad is an epic tale of war, rage, and the human cost of conflict. Set during the Trojan War, it focuses on the Greek hero Achilles and his internal struggle. When Agamemnon, the Greek leader, dishonors Achilles by taking his war prize, Achilles withdraws from battle, jeopardizing the Greek campaign. Achilles' absence leads to devastating losses for the Greeks. When his closest friend Patroclus is killed by Hector, the Trojan prince, Achilles' grief and anger drive him back to the battlefield. In a brutal duel, Achilles kills Hector and desecrates his body, dragging it behind his chariot. The story reaches its emotional peak when King Priam, Hector's father, humbly begs Achilles for his son's body. Moved by Priam's sorrow, Achilles returns Hector's body, demonstrating the shared humanity even between enemies. The Iliad captures the glory and tragedy of war, reminding us of the personal sacrifices and emotions behind epic battles. Theseus and the Minotaur. The story of Theseus and the Minotaur is a tale of bravery, sacrifice, and cleverness. The Minotaur, a monstrous creature with the body of a man and the head of a bull, was kept in a labyrinth on Crete by King Minos. Every year, Athens was forced to send 7 young men and women as tribute to the beast. Theseus, the prince of Athens, volunteered to end this cycle of suffering. Upon arriving in Crete, he met Ariadne, Minos' daughter, who fell in love with him. She gave him a ball of thread to navigate the labyrinth. Using the thread, Theseus found his way to the Minotaur, defeated it in combat, and retraced his steps to escape the labyrinth. His triumph freed Athens from its cruel obligation to Crete. This story symbolizes human ingenuity and the courage to confront overwhelming challenges. Theseus's victory over the Minotaur is a timeless reminder that even the most daunting tasks can be overcome with bravery and clever thinking. The Flight of Icarus. The story of Icarus is a powerful tale of ambition, recklessness, and the consequences of ignoring wise counsel. Icarus and his father, Daedalus, were imprisoned on the island of Crete by King Minos. Daedalus, a brilliant inventor, devised a plan for their escape by crafting wings made of feathers and wax. Before they took flight, Daedalus warned Icarus not to fly too high, as the heat of the sun would melt the wax, nor too low, as the sea's dampness would ruin the feathers. Together they soared into the sky, escaping their captivity. However, overcome by the thrill of flight, and ignoring his father's warnings, Icarus flew too close to the sun. The wax melted, his wings fell apart, and he plunged into the sea, where he drowned. The story of Icarus reflects human tendencies toward overconfidence and the allure of pushing boundaries. It teaches the importance of balance, striving for greatness while remaining mindful of limitations. This myth also symbolizes the relationship between freedom and responsibility. Daedalus gave Icarus the means to escape, but Icarus's disregard for caution led to his downfall. The story remains a timeless reminder of the dangers of hubris and the wisdom of heeding guidance. The Judgment of Paris. The Judgment of Paris is the spark that ignited the Trojan War. It begins with a golden apple inscribed, "For the fairest," thrown by Eris, the goddess of discord, into a gathering of the gods. 3 goddesses, Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite, claimed the apple, and Zeus appointed Paris, a prince of Troy, to decide who deserved it. Each goddess offered Paris a bribe. Hera promised power and kingship, Athena offered wisdom and military success, and Aphrodite promised him the love of the most beautiful woman, Helen of Sparta. Paris awarded the apple to Aphrodite, sealing his fate. Helen, however, was already married to King Menelaus. When Paris took her to Troy, it enraged the Greeks, leading to the decade-long Trojan War. The Judgment of Paris explores themes of desire, choice, and consequence. Paris's decision, driven by personal desire rather than wisdom or duty, had far-reaching effects, showing how individual actions can shape the course of history. The story of Persephone and Hades. The tale of Persephone and Hades explains the changing of the seasons and explores themes of love, loss, and renewal. Persephone, the daughter of Demeter, the goddess of agriculture, was abducted by Hades, the god of the underworld, to become his queen. Devastated by her daughter's disappearance, Demeter abandoned her duties, causing the earth to wither and crops to fail. Humanity faced starvation, and the gods intervened, pressuring Hades to return Persephone. However, Persephone had eaten pomegranate seeds in the underworld, binding her to spend part of each year there. A compromise was reached. Persephone would spend half the year with Demeter and the other half with Hades. During her time in the underworld, Demeter mourned, and winter and autumn prevailed. When Persephone returned, the earth blossomed, bringing spring and summer. This story reflects the cycles of life and death, symbolizing nature's rhythms and the balance between light and darkness. It also highlights the profound bond between mother and child, illustrating the depths of love and the sacrifices made for family. The Birth of Athena. Athena's birth is one of the most extraordinary stories in Greek mythology. She was born fully grown and armed from the head of Zeus. This unusual birth occurred because Zeus swallowed her mother, Metis, a goddess of wisdom, while she was pregnant. Zeus feared a prophecy that Metis's child would surpass him, so he tried to prevent her from giving birth. However, Zeus began to suffer an unbearable headache. Hephaestus, the god of craftsmanship, split Zeus's head open with an axe, and Athena emerged radiant and ready for battle. Her birth symbolizes the fusion of intellect, Metis, and power, Zeus, qualities that define Athena as the goddess of wisdom, strategy, and warfare. Athena's birth story highlights themes of balance and innovation. She embodies intelligence and strength, showing that true power comes from the mind as much as the body. As a goddess, she represents justice, courage, and the pursuit of knowledge, serving as an enduring symbol of strategic thinking. The tale of Orpheus and Eurydice. Orpheus and Eurydice's story is a tragic tale of love, loss, and the power of music. Orpheus, a legendary musician, fell deeply in love with Eurydice. Their happiness was short-lived when Eurydice was bitten by a snake and died, descending into the underworld. Devastated, Orpheus played his lyre so beautifully that it moved the gods and even Hades himself. Hades allowed Orpheus to bring Eurydice back to the world of the living on one condition. He must not look back at her until they reached the surface. Driven by love but plagued by doubt, Orpheus turned to see if Eurydice was behind him just before they emerged. She vanished, lost forever. This story illustrates the fragility of trust and the enduring pain of loss. It also highlights the power of art and music to move even the hardest hearts. Orpheus's journey is a timeless reminder of the human desire to defy death and the profound consequences of yielding to fear. The Wrath of Medusa. Medusa is one of Greek mythology's most haunting figures. Once a beautiful mortal, Medusa's life took a tragic turn when she was cursed by Athena. According to the myth, Medusa was either seduced or violated by Poseidon in Athena's temple. Outraged by the desecration of her sacred space, Athena punished Medusa, transforming her into a gorgon with snakes for hair and a gaze that turned anyone who looked at her into stone. Medusa's transformation made her a feared and isolated figure. She retreated to a desolate place where no one dared approach her. Eventually, the hero Perseus was tasked with killing her as part of a dangerous quest. Armed with a mirrored shield from Athena, a sword, and winged sandals from Hermes, Perseus avoided her deadly gaze by using the shield to see her reflection. He successfully beheaded Medusa, and from her severed neck sprang Pegasus, the winged horse, and Chrysaor, a giant. Medusa's story is often seen as a tale of victimization and resilience. While Athena's punishment may seem harsh, some interpretations suggest that Medusa's transformation into a gorgon was meant to protect her from further harm. Her death at Perseus's hands reflects the harsh fate often dealt to tragic figures in mythology. This myth resonates because it explores themes of power, vengeance, and transformation. Medusa's image endures as a symbol of both fear and strength, embodying the complexities of her story. The Story of Narcissus. Narcissus was a handsome young man who captured the hearts of all who saw him, but he was so consumed by his own beauty that he rejected anyone who loved him. One of his admirers was Echo, a nymph cursed by Hera to only repeat the last words spoken to her. When Echo professed her love, Narcissus cruelly dismissed her, leaving her heartbroken. To punish Narcissus for his arrogance, the goddess Nemesis led him to a clear pool of water. There, he saw his reflection for the first time and became infatuated with it, not realizing it was just an image. Unable to look away, Narcissus wasted away by the pool, ultimately transforming into a flower that now bears his name. This story is a profound exploration of vanity and self-obsession. Narcissus's downfall illustrates the dangers of excessive pride and the inability to connect with others. His tragic fate serves as a cautionary tale, warning against the isolation that comes from focusing solely on oneself. The myth of Narcissus remains relevant, symbolizing the pitfalls of narcissism and the importance of empathy. Prometheus and the Gift of Fire. Prometheus, a titan known for his intelligence and foresight, played a pivotal role in Greek mythology by championing humanity. According to legend, Zeus withheld fire from humans to keep them dependent and powerless. Prometheus, defying Zeus, stole fire from Mount Olympus and gave it to mankind. Fire was more than a source of warmth and light. It symbolized knowledge, technology, and civilization. By gifting fire, Prometheus enabled humans to advance and thrive, earning their eternal gratitude. However, his defiance enraged Zeus, who punished Prometheus by chaining him to a rock where an eagle would eat his liver daily. Since Prometheus was immortal, his liver regenerated each night, making his torment endless. Prometheus's story is a powerful metaphor for the sacrifices made in the pursuit of progress. His actions highlight the courage needed to challenge authority for the greater good, as well as the personal cost of standing up for one's beliefs. The tale also explores the tension between gods and humanity, emphasizing the struggle for knowledge and freedom. The Creation of Pandora. Pandora's story is a cautionary tale about curiosity and the unintended consequences of disobedience. After Prometheus gave fire to humans, Zeus sought revenge. He ordered Hephaestus to create Pandora, the first woman, from clay. The gods endowed her with gifts, beauty, charm, and wit, but also cunning and deceit. Zeus gave Pandora a jar, commonly misinterpreted as a box, and instructed her not to open it. However, driven by curiosity, Pandora eventually lifted the lid, unleashing all the evils of the world: sickness, despair, and suffering. Horrified, she quickly closed the jar, trapping only hope inside. Pandora's story reflects the complexities of human nature. Her curiosity and disobedience led to chaos, but the presence of hope symbolizes resilience and the capacity to endure adversity. This myth explores themes of temptation, accountability, and the duality of life's hardships and blessings. It highlights the enduring balance between struggle and perseverance.